Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to start a convection problem. It will be a conduction, and convection will also be involved here. So how? The problem is simple. We have a 3D wall, and but we are going to study only the 1D heat transfer here along this say x direction. And for that, on this side we are going to apply heat flux of 1000 watt per meter square, and this heat will be conducted on the other side. But on the other side, what we'll do additionally here is this heat will be lost from the surface through convection. Say the H value of the fluid is 20 watt per meter square Kelvin, and this fluid's temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. So we'll say find temperature at the center of the wall, or the thickness of the wall is say, or L is equal to 0.5 meters, and we'll find temperature at say 0.2 meter, taking the steady state condition. So it will be a stationary problem. So we are given with thickness of the wall is 0.5 meter. Flux applied on the one side is 1000 watt per meter square, and we have H value of 20 watt per meter square Kelvin. We have ambient temperature 25 degrees Celsius, and we need thermal conductivity, of course, for this conductive heat transfer. So K, let's say 10 watt per meter Kelvin. So these are the given parameters, and we will learn how to apply, how to solve this problem analytically, and then using COMSOL how to apply this convective heat transfer coefficient using COMSOL. We'll start analytical solution. So we know this simple problem is governed by the differential equation. Since it's 1D, so d2t divided by dx2 equals 0. There is no heat generation. It's steady problem, so this is our governing equation for the problem. So how to solve this? Simple, we integrate twice. So when we integrate once, so we're left with a dt by dx, and on the other side we get a constant. And when we differentiate it second time, we get function t of x, which is the temperature distribution, and c1 of gets x, and we get another constant c2 for this integration. So this is our equation. This is our general equation. So to make it specific, we need these two integration constants, and for that we need boundary conditions. And we know the two boundary conditions are, one is q flux is 1000, and we know this is by definition minus k dt by dx, and so minus k is 10, dt divided by dx equals 1000. So we get dt divided by dx equals minus 100. This, we can substitute this in here, and we get our c1, because dt by dx is c1. So we get our c1 equal to dt by dx, which we got minus 100. Now we need t2, sorry, we need c2. C2 will be calculated from this. So we have t of x equals c1 x plus c2. C1 we got, now we need c2. For that we know temperature on the other side of the face, rather on the other side of the face, we don't know any temperature. but it will be say TL, and H is given and T infinity is given, and we can relate them using convective transfer equation. We know that uh, Q divided by A, it will be H T L minus T infinite. So this is another boundary condition, and it will be same. So it will be H T of L minus T infinite. It will be equal to 1000, because same heat gets transferred to the other end. We know this from the thermal network, that if this one resistor conductive, another resistor convective, so total Q dot here is equal to total Q dot here in series. So same heat will be transferred to the other side, that's why 1000. So H we are given with H, so H is 20, TL we need, T infinite is 25 in degrees Celsius, so this will be obtained in degrees Celsius. This is 1000, so we get 0 cancel, we get 250 times, we get TL 50 plus 25 equals 75 degrees Celsius. So we got TL, another boundary condition. So now we can use, we know T of X is C1X plus C2. Let's make it T of L. So C1L plus C2. So what is our L? Thickness. And what is that? 0.5. So T at 0.5 is equal to C1 times 0.5 plus C2. Now C1 we got, and that was minus 100, I think. Yes, minus 100. So this is 75, which has got it, T of L. C1 was minus 100. This is 0.5. We will get C2. So we get 75 is equal to minus 100 divided by 2 plus C2. So 75 equals minus 50 plus C2. So we get C2 equals 75 plus 50, which will be 125 degrees Celsius. So 125. So our complete solution, analytical solution for this will be T of X equals C1 of X plus C2. So T of X equals C1 we got minus 100X plus C2 we got 125. 125. So let's rearrange this. So we get 125 minus 100 times X. This is our analytical solution. This is the temperature distribution that we got. So we can see, if we take this as Y, this is C, and plus and minus 100, this is our M, and this is X. So Y is equal to mx plus C. So we know this will be something like, so if this is X, this is our temperature that depends on X. Our slope is negative, so it is straight line, but not this way, but rather it will be this way, because slope is negative. So the temperature will be varying like this, and here slope is minus 100, and this intercept value, it will be touching this axis, which is C, which is 125. So it will be coming from like 125, and will be decreasing in this manner. And somewhere we have our point, so we have here x is equal to 0, we have here somewhere x is equal to L, which is 0.5, and in between we have 0.2 meter, and we have to find our temperature in the wall at this location. That means we need to find this temperature. So this was our analytical solution. Let us put x equal to 0.2 and find our solution here using this analytical value. So 0.2, it will be 125 minus 100, 0.2. So it will be 125 minus 100, it will be 2 by 10. So it will be 125 minus 10 twice 20, so it will be 105 degrees Celsius temperature at this location, 105 degrees Celsius. Now we're moving to COMSOL Multiphysics and we'll try to solve the same problem using COMSOL Multiphysics. So we'll open the model wizard. We'll choose one thing I want to make clear here is we chose 3D geometry, but making 3D model in COMSOL will make the problem consume more time, which we do obviously do not want. We want the model to be run in the minimum time possible. So for a model, we can reduce 3D geometry to 1D geometry. We have a wall like this, and we are interested in 1D heat transfer like this. So whatever heat will transfer here, same heat will be transferred here, same here, same here, same here, same here. So we'll just model one line segment. So whatever temperature is here, it will be everywhere along this vertical line. So whatever temperature is here, it will be everywhere along this vertical line. So why to bother to solve entire 2D plane? So what we will do is we will choose just one dimensional line segment. So whatever temperature is here, it will be at every point on this line, and whatever temperature is on this line, it will be at every point on this vertical line. So we'll choose just this line segment. So this is 3D. We're interested in 1D, so we'll look on to this face only, and for this face we can still reduce to a line segment. That's what is shown by the animation. We are studying heat transfer in one dimension only along the thickness, so we'll forget about the depth. As we can see in this animation, we can reduce the depth, we can reduce the height as well. What we are left with is this thickness line. So we'll choose 1D. This will solve the model very quickly, and we'll choose heat transparent solid. We'll add it. Then we'll choose study, stationary, and done. So first we have to make line segment. So interval. This is the line segment from 0 up to our width, which is 0.5. We'll build it. So we have our line. So this is basically the thickness of the wall along one dimension only. Then material. So we will not choose material here, because only material property that we need is K. We'll define it in the physics. We'll go to physics. We'll go to solid, and inside the solid we have K. We'll choose user defined because we have not assigned the material. So user defined. So K will be taken here 10. That's the only property that we need. Then we will initially keep it at any just steady state problem. So initial temperature can be anything. Let's keep it 300 Kelvin, which is heat flux on the left side. So heat flux on this left side, its value is 1000 watt per meter square on this side. Then we have another boundary condition, which is the heat flux again, but this time it will not be general heat flux, it will be convective, because we are studying convection. So on other side the heat is carried away by convection. So for that, H is 20 and T is 25, which is 298 Kelvin, and it has to be assigned on the other side. So we're done with two boundary conditions, because we saw in the analytical solution that only two boundary conditions are needed to get C1 and C2. So we'll choose mesh. We will build all. So meshing is done very fast, because there are just few number of elements along this one dimension line. If we had chosen the entire face, then number of elements produced during meshing are larger, so it will take more time, and it will take more time to solve each element, and we'll get same result. So why to bother using 2D or 3D if we can get our result from 1D? So stationary, hit compute. Now in 1D geometry, we'll always get a solution in the graphical form showing temperature varying along the thickness. So this is the same exact line that we got, a straight line slope downwards because temperature decreases from one end to another end. Left end is having high temperature. This is because the left end is applied with the heat flux, and the right end uh, loses this heat by convection. We can change units to degrees Celsius from here. So we get our temperatures here. So temperature, we can see it decreases from 125 to, on the other side, to which was we calculated that, which was 75. So it decreased from 125 to 75. So our C value is 125, which we can confirm from here, here. So we saw that it was here 125 because the slope is 125, and it reduces to other end, and other end temperature we got 75 here somewhere, yeah, here. Now going back, so what we need is temperature at 0.2. So this is our 0.2 location. We can go up, touch our graph at location 0.2, 0.2. So exactly we can see uh, label showing here x is 0.2 and y value is 105, and units are degrees Celsius. So we have 105 degrees Celsius temperature at this location. So we can compare it with our solution, which is exactly 105. So this is how we apply convective heat transfer on a geometry, and we can solve a problem accordingly. So what we normally can normally think of convection when we hear convection, about convection, is we have a metal plate and fluid flows over it that carries away the heat. That is that is that involves modeling the fluid flow as well. So we started with the simplest convection problem where we used the inbuilt convective heat transfer option here, which directly chose h value, directly gave a t infinite value, and it removed the heat from the right side of the surface as if there was fluid with h value of 20 and t value of 25, but we did not model the fluid flow there. We'll get to that kind of problems as well, but this was the first simplest problem that we can solve even without using the fluid flow concept, and just using the inbuilt convective transfer coefficient option and the t infinite option. We can still make use of that. That will be all for today's video. Thank you.